Hey everybody, this is Richie from the Metal Cell podcast. First of all, I want to give a shout out to our main sponsors, Rise & Sons, the award-winning brewery in Cork. Call in if you're around Cork for some nice beers. I'm delighted to welcome Mark of Indominus to the show. How are you, Mark?
Hello, I'm not too bad. How are you?
He's currently driving with his two
Yeah,
knees on the steering wheel, so if he does crash, it's not my fault, Mark.
yeah.
I'm kind of.
I hope my insurance company's not looking at this.
How
I'm
are you anyway, Mark? Great to
not
have you
too
on the
bad,
show.
thanks. Thanks for having me. Other band members are a bit busy at the moment, so you just get the short end of the stick here with me. So
Well,
thanks for
I'm,
having us.
I'm getting an
Or
original
me.
member, aren't I?
Yeah, that's true. An old original member.
Yeah, Jesus, we're all at that age now, my friend.
Yeah,
You're
it's
kind of
hard to
feeling
pick stuff up. Yeah.
you're feeling the aches and pains after gigs, yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah, sure. It's like I say, I'm going home to slip into something more comfortable, and it's a bath of deep heat.
We, we'll maybe talk about the gigs at the
Yeah,
moment. Like you're back in action, which is great news, and I'm sure you've got plenty of fans around the countryside kind of going, fucking hell, the lads are back. Hopefully they might hit
yeah,
our town or city. So maybe you might just talk about, first of all, the last few gigs he did. How did you get on with them, and anyone in particular that stood out for you?
yeah. We had a plan to come back with the metal to the masses just after the just with COVID and everything, putting a stop to everything we had been doing prior. And the first two gigs we did was metal to the masses. One was our first heat, and then we got through to the semi final. But those first two gigs that was set up by the Distortion Project, James Loveday, I'm sure
Shout
you're
out to
aware of.
James. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good, supportive guy in the scene up here. Um, those two gigs were actually brilliant, and it was a real kind of eye opener to us what had changed in the last 3 4 years. Um, there was a lot of younger. When I say younger, like I'm 49 now, they're a lot younger than me. You know, they're
Mhm.
19, 20,
Yeah,
coming and actually supporting the bands, the local bands, and actually getting into the music. I don't know if you saw any of the live
I
videos.
did. Yeah,
People were going ballistic, and
yeah.
that only makes you want to do more and give more energy and play harder.
And
When you
you're
see,
converting new fans, man.
yeah, and certainly just getting out, and I think live is the best.
Yeah.
I like playing live. I mean, we do record stuff, but recording's a bit like, I wouldn't say tedious, but it's very involved, as it were.
Yeah.
Whereas
You're more
I do
looser
like
on
the,
stage.
yeah, I do like I just hate that click noise, when you're recording.
Yeah.
That gets in your head. But I do like playing live, and certainly those first couple of gigs were, a real door opener for us.
So
Um,
you played even the Burning Metal farewell gig that was down in Dublin. How did that go down?
it went really well. We know Phil quite well. We played with a band in Incarnate and ourselves a long number of years, and that's how we met Phil, because he had set that gig up.
Okay.
And then he had always kept in touch with us, behind the scenes. And I think a band couldn't do it because one of the members was ill. And then I kind of jumped on and said, look, we'll fill in. So we
Yeah.
kind of filled in at short notice, and just to get back into the southern scene a wee bit, because
Yes.
we had been kind of sheltered in Northern Ireland, even though I'm not from here originally, but
Oh, aren't you?
so
No? Whereabouts are you from,
I'm
Mark?
a Dub. I'm originally a Dubliner.
Well,
You
Jesus,
probably,
you could have fooled me with that accent, man.
yeah.
They've
I was
completely
originally
taken
from
you, taken
yeah,
the, taken you over, my friend.
yeah. So yeah, I lived in Dublin all my life. Went to
Oh.
gigs, uh, 1990s and stuff. So all the good gigs at that time.
And
Um,
and so like your path into music, Mark, maybe were you just with For Christ's Sake, is it? Or had you other projects
that
before that?
I was in a band in Dublin called Black Wolf, and I was going around with I don't know if you know Paul Kearns.
I
He was
do, of
in
course. Legend of the scene.
Primordial, I think he was, or no, Fifth Dominion.
Fifth
It was Fifth.
Dominion. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember seeing Primordial when they started out.
Yeah.
It was in the Rock Garden, I think, in Dublin,
Oh, the Rock
and
Garden. Yeah.
Septic Snail and Fifth Dominion. Fifth Dominion were brilliant. I think Paul Kearns is in a different band now, and is he in Sweden or something? Or
The last time I saw him, he was doing merch for Primordial
yeah,
down in Limerick.
right. Because he's really tight with those guys.
Yeah.
Is it Alan Averill?
Alan,
He was the
yeah,
singer?
that's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I can't think off the top of my head the name of the band that Currency is associated with. I'm nearly sure it was an English band or something like that, but
yeah,
yeah, can't remember. It's
they're a bit
just,
like you know the guy that used to be in he is in Carcass, but he was in the singer was in the band. Oh, I forget. They
Bill
sang a
Stair, one
song.
of those, no?
Um, they sing a song on Midnight Mountain. I forget they're like a doom band, an early doom band, but they remind me. Currency reminds me of that's what
Okay.
they're trying to get at, you know. But
Yeah.
that's how far back I go, so that's quite a long time.
Yeah. I mean, was Corey in Fifth Dominion as well?
Yeah, there's the I think they were one of the heaviest bands at the time in Dublin because there was a lot of death metal bands then.
Yes, correct. You're
You
spot
know, I
on.
think there's a lot now, but you know, there was quite a lot. You
Yeah.
know,
And maybe just talk about then, for Christ's sake, is it? Or
yeah. Well, that was kind of that was a project that another drummer had set up and I'd been involved in. Um,
right.
we kind of did stuff out in Europe, and then we kind of split with the drummer because it just wasn't working out.
Was
And then
Logan with you then? Yeah.
yeah, Logan
Oh,
was the original guitarist, so we decided that we were just going to go out on our own, and we had other members, Simon and Alan, and we set up Indominus and just decided to go full tilt, death metal kind of hardcore,
hmm.
and just reinvent and get away from the other stuff we had done, you know.
Okay. Okay.
That
And
happened. That's 7 years ago now, so that's when we decided on that EP, that one with the Legion Within.
yeah, it still sounds amazing, man. I was listening to it today, just fucking going, wow. Who, like, I was on, just checked your Bandcamp, man. I was just trying to find out who was involved in the production of it.
Well, we used the guy. It was a Bearcat Studios.
Oh,
Uh,
Bearcat, that's come up before, yeah.
yeah, a guy called Johnny, and then there was a guy,
Is
Josh.
Bearcat Studios, that's in Belfast, is it?
Yeah, it was Johnny and Josh Sid Robinson. He still does metal stuff. He
Oh,
he engineered some of it, and then we had a different drummer at the time, and I just think it sounded quite fat and filling, and the
hmm.
mix was good, and
Yeah,
it does jump out. We do get good reviews about it,
yeah,
and we're going to
definitely.
try and do that with the next thing we do. Kind of
Okay.
similar kind of in your face kind of stuff.
But when that came out, was there record labels sniffing around ye at the time? Like,
Yeah,
how big did it get with that initial release and maybe a few tours and stuff on the back of it?
we had a lot of interest, and we kind of thought maybe we should DIY because it was coming around the time where Spotify was getting big and
Hmm.
all those kind of streaming platforms, and we thought, is a label going to really help us that much? Because all they really do is pay for the, you know, production of the CD, and then you try and sell it.
Yeah.
And most of the younger crowd now, everything's on their phones. It's
Yes.
not so much. We have the old school guys like myself and yourself wanting to buy the actual physical
Yes.
CD or
Hmm.
vinyl. Vinyl's coming back with a bang, I think. But yeah, we had interest, and we got out to. We kind of do well out in Holland. We've played Holland a few times. We played Stonehenge. I don't know if you've heard of
Yes,
Stonehenge
I have.
Festival
Yeah.
last July with Vader and Marduk and Suffocation and
That's some fucking lineup there, man.
Misery
Fucking
Index,
hell.
all those. So we were like
Jesus.
hanging around with all of them, and it was great. Like, and it's just a different atmosphere over there. You know, it's just a
Yeah.
different mindset about heavy metal
That
compared to
in
here.
Germany as well, man.
Yeah, I hear. I was speaking to Stuart out of the Crawling last week, a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
and he was saying Germany's really good. They've played in
Mhm.
Germany, and it's a world of a difference compared to here.
Yeah, oh, it is. It's the home of
By
metal,
here, I
man.
mean, yeah, by here I mean Ireland North and South because there's no real difference in that the crowds are like I was at Iron Maiden there in Dublin on Saturday, and it was jammed, it was packed,
Yeah.
and you just say to yourself, "Where are all these people?" When
I know.
we're, you know,
I know.
it just
Yeah, and I'd say, you know what? Because it's a funny thing that you brought up, Maiden, because I was talking to somebody else, about actually Depeche Mode, and he was at Depeche Mode in Malahide Castle, and he didn't get to the inner circle, but he was up against the barrier anyway, and he said all around him there was no Irish people. It was just full of people from Spain, France that actively travel to follow the band around, you know. And I was just wondering, would that be the same with Maiden? Like, was there a lot of...
Yeah, there seems to be a lot. I know, I don't know whether in Dublin there's a lot of Brazilians and Argentinians, because there was a lot of those type of flags.
Yes.
But then I've been at Metallica and stuff, and they seem to have traveling fans. You know the way the Grateful Dead had fans that traveled everywhere with them? Metallica are getting that way as well. That they have fans.
It's not an Irish thing, really, is it? Irish not lads really. Don't tend to do that.
Following them around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Really expensive, you know. So, and there's us thinking £7 a lot to see us, or €7, whatever it is.
So when the EP came out, then Mark, just to bring you back, because I want to kind of bring you up to where you are now at the moment. That was 2016, was it? 17? Jesus Christ, that's a long time ago, man.
And if you think of that period too, 3 years of that has been COVID, where it's just been our guitars have been rusting on hangers and
fuck's sake. You know. But I presume like that you have been writing right through COVID, or was that difficult for you as a band?
It was, because there was no practice places and we couldn't meet up. We kept Messenger's really good, you know, Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. To be honest, if I'm being really honest with you, we didn't really start back till last January before Stonehenge.
Okay.
And we wrote songs then, and we said we were going to actively move away from that EP that you like, the Legion Within, and write new stuff, because we thought maybe that Legion Within, whilst it sounds good, it's time dated now, 7 years. So
of course,
you're kind of not flogging a dead horse. We don't play any of those songs live anymore.
I know. I saw your set list there for, was it Burning Metal?
Yeah.
And I was shocked. I was just going, Jesus Christ, not one of the old songs on it.
You'll see that Legion Within, because it's drenched in lead guitar. Our lead guitarist left because he just wasn't into music. Well, he's still into music, but he just didn't want to do it anymore.
Okay.
And we don't actively do that amount of lead anymore.
Okay.
All the sweeps you hear and all that. He's really good at all that, and you know it is nice to hear. But we just think we want to maybe simplify it a wee bit, you know, and make it a bit more impactful. I'm not saying the lead is bad. I'm just saying sometimes 2-minute solos you lose people live, you know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But we're at any stage where E5 piece, no?
Yes.
Okay.
We were. Because we had 2 guitars, and then we had the vocalist, me, and then the drummer. So yeah, we were. But I think it works out well, being more streamlined as a 4-piece. Obviously, from a democratic point of view, voting on stuff, you don't have to be the 5th wheel, you know.
Do you find you have to do much more fill-ins now? The fact that you're a 4-piece as a bassist.
Well, I've started to use. I haven't used them before. Overdrive pedal and boost and stuff. So yeah, because I think our sound's filling out quite well live. I think we've made a dynamic with those first few gigs we've done, where people have come up to us and said, "Oh, that was cracking live." You never really think of, you're not outside yourself to look at yourself playing.
Of course,
and sometimes, if that makes sense, and sometimes it's a bit surreal watching it on a phone.
Yeah. I understand.
You know, going, did I do that? Did I swing someone's shirt out into the audience there? Or, you know, because you're kind of in the, I hate to say in the zone because it sounds stupid, but in the moment of playing there, you're like, I just get an adrenaline rush playing. You know, sometimes you just nearly bash the hell out of the guitar to the point of be breaking the strings. It's hard to explain unless you're
in it,
playing live, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the reason we do it, because the buzz you get from it.
Yeah, you look at how Stranglewire have progressed over the last few years. It's amazing, isn't it?
They're a great band. I mean, we were supposed to play with them. Was it last week or the week before? We played with them, Lost Brethren.
Oh yeah, they pulled out of that. That's right. Yeah, you're spot on. I forgot about that.
All the boys were there except one of the guitars. So I don't know what happened, but they're dead on guys, and a fair play to them. They did a tour of America and stuff, so I'm sure.
They're definitely flying the flag there for death metal and just live as well. More so,
they're really good. And some of the boys, I know Pete, the singer, he's been in. I think he was in Condemned from memory, and they're good live. And they do their videos with a guy called Obscenery Films, and I'm nearly sure they do stuff for Metallica as well.
Okay,
so they're mixing in the right kind of
they are.
Circles, and the Crawling, brilliant, really good band, and really pushing things forward. And
it's a great scene to be involved in, Mark, isn't it? At the moment, it's exciting. There's young blood coming through, and the likes of the Crawling, Stranglewear. There's a lot of bands, established bands now that are kind of slowly moving across to the UK, to Europe for tours as well.
Yeah, because I see Dead Label now have announced they're doing some sort of tour, and we haven't really played with them or crossed with them much, but they would be more of a well-known Southern.
Yeah, they would be. Yeah, they would be definitely.
Obviously, we played with an Air Heat. We played with RPC from they're from Cork, aren't they?
Yeah.
That was a bit of an eye opener, but they're good. They're good guys. Like we get on quite well with them.
So, like, you're working then on an EP at the moment, Mark. Would you say is there going to be just refined down to maybe 4 or 5 songs? We probably have 8 or 9, I'd imagine. And
we have a lot. To be honest, it's the attention span of people generally now.
Okay.
I think, and I've seen that with bigger bands, even talking about Anthrax said about is making albums the way to go forward anymore. Should we release a couple of songs every couple of months?
Yeah.
Or, so we're thinking maybe 3 or 4 songs out of that set, the strongest 4.
Yes. Do you think that the audience reaction will define what songs will make it onto the EP, or have you an idea of it yourselves already?
Yeah, we know the ones that go down well, and certainly the ones that are in the set now. There's 4 there that are definitely we know ourselves, and we've kind of tweaked them as well. And we said they're the ones we're going to use because they seem to be the ones that are the most impactful.
Yes.
And the ones that I would like to listen to, because I listen to them, we have them on SoundCloud just for practice.
Okay.
I meant to send you the SoundCloud. I must send you the SoundCloud.
Send it on anyway. Yeah.
It was like, I do really like this because, I am not an ego head where I'd say, oh, our music's brilliant. Our music, I just let the music, because you will always have people that like the stuff and people that say that's shit. That's just like, isn't it? It's just,
you'd hope that there would be people brave enough to say as well, like, that's shit. You need to.
No, well, I think it's more honest when you say it's crap, when you're saying it's good, when you don't think it's good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
There's a fine line sometimes with bands and in relation to that with certain members.
Well, see, years ago when bands played and we would play, and I'm talking about other bands I've been in, other people would be there like this, watching the bands, press me, and I'm just going about the crowd, or they would disappear outside from smoke or a vape, not so much as a vape then, but more of a smoke. And you would just go, that's really disrespectful of, we're coming to see you and vice versa, so that doesn't happen. I've noticed with these last few gigs that everyone stays in. And they try and fill the venue wherever it is,
Yeah, it's always a good sign when you see that happening. The last thing you want.
Cork. Yeah, we did play Cork before as well.
That was a while back then. It must have been before 2017, 18 maybe, I'm guessing.
Is it Small Peen Phonic? We played with Stranglewire were there as well.
Was that Urban Assault? No, was that a festival?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Urban Assault. Yeah.
Jesus Christ Almighty! I was at that. Fucking hell!
We did play that. I remember headbanging so much that my neck hurt all the way driving home. I was driving like this.
Oh my God! Fucking hell!
It was a good night. It's just some drive, though. Some drive.
Look, I've done it a few times now up to Belfast for various gigs, and
seriously,
the Crypt of the Riff was one of them. I'd probably do it again in August. If I don't have anything planned for holidays, I might go up to that. There's a great lineup for that, a 2-day lineup for that. Shout out to Jake from Elder Druid for organising that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Let's talk about the new members, Mark,
Yep.
who joined. So first of all, was the singer, was it?
Ricky joined 5 years ago. So
2019, was it around that?
then the drummer's the most recent. I'd say he's over a year and a half now.
Yeah.
Oak is his name. He's really into his punk music, which
Okay,
is
that's nice.
surprisingly, he's into all that stuff. But he's a good wee drummer. Like, he's only 20, so it's good to have that
Yes.
energy in the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
And then the older guys are out at the front.
Yeah.
Me
And how
being
did
the
you
oldest.
discover both of those lads?
Well, Ricky had been in bands in the scene here, so we kind of knew of him, and
Okay.
he's really good with the crowd. He interacts with the crowds well, and I think we just met up with him sometime and asked him to join because we were looking a singer because our singer had left. We've always had a problem with singers and drummers,
Right.
and then
It's usually drummers.
Yeah, and I think we waited for over 2 years for a drummer. And that was COVID, and we were like,
Yeah.
we'll just wait and see.
Mhm.
We were like throwing a sprat out to catch a whale, you know that, and sitting
Yeah, I
on the boat
understand.
for someone for a bite. But then
Yeah.
some drummers are in 2 and 3 bands, and you can't really get. We approached people as well, and then this wee guy Oak, he contacted us on Messenger, sent a demo of him playing with another band, and we said we'll try it out, and we did, and we practiced with him, and it's just a consistent practice.
Yeah.
And he's worked out quite well. He's easygoing. He's got a lot of friends that like us and stuff, and it's good to get in with that age group too,
Yeah.
because obviously he's 20, so I feel like his dad because I have a 20-year-old son. So
Oh, have you really? Yeah.
yeah, because I'm 50 in December, so like I'm pushing on.
Yeah.
So,
It must
but I
be
love
mad, all
doing
right.
I love doing it. It makes me feel less than 50.
And did you think with Ricky and Oak, did you think they're after bringing their own flavour to the music, or is it still too early to say that?
No, I think they have, and they actively contribute. And the drummer can sing, can do the growls and stuff. He can do backing.
Okay.
We haven't really used that yet, but he's quite good that way. And Ricky would be very good at contributing ideas and doing all the different vocal styles and pig squeal stuff now and all that kind of thing, you know. So yeah, we all get on well together.
Mm.
And Logan does a lot of the guitar work, so we sometimes clinic together where we come together and work out the guitar bits, and so it works quite well.
And where's the practice space for you, Mark?
Everywhere and anywhere.
Oh, you're one of those bands just...
Yeah, it's like, I think we got barred from one place because we cancelled because one of us had COVID, and then the guy just gave us, it was a one hit and no other chances afterwards. So we practice in Lisburn, which is where I am at the moment. We found a wee space which is quite good, so that works out well.
Yeah, and are all has Logan moved up to Antrim direction as well, or is he still is Logan a dub? He is?
No, he's from here. He's from Lisburn, but he lives in Banbridge, which next stop is Newry. So yeah, he's from here. Yeah, they're all from here except me. Although I'm married here. I married here about 21 years ago.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I was wondering that because you were on about Dublin, so you moved in and then met Logan up here, is it?
Yeah. I moved because of a woman. So
yes. So it's a familiar story.
Yeah. So I didn't move for the band.
Yeah. Oh man, that's fucking classic.
But we appreciate the support from guys like yourself who do these things, because if we didn't have this or the Metal Ireland, the Burn Metal Ireland or those things, there just wouldn't be.
Yeah, Wayne as well, the wrong kind of media. He's
they've mentioned us, and it's quite a good thing that they do the podcast, and then obviously like the James Lovedays of this world and other people. It's just we're playing a gig in Fibbers at the end of July.
Right.
They organise OD Promotions.
Oh yeah, that's Mickey. Yeah, nice guy. Shout out to Mickey.
I don't know the full lineup, but it's the 28th of July. So
right. Yeah. And isn't it fantastic that there's so many gigs, Mark? Like James and Tall John down Siege in Limerick.
We
And
played that as well.
yes, that's correct. Yeah, so
That's a long
like
time ago.
like they're great people to have, but like it's also really good and exciting to see young promoters coming on the scene and
Yeah.
see how they do it their own way. You know, they're well savvy
Yeah.
with the social media side of things.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of the gigs in the past they fell down was just through lack of promotion, and that mightn't have necessarily been down to the promoter. Could have been just
Yeah.
down to the venue itself.
I think too, one thing I found, from doing gigs many moons ago before Facebook, a lot of it was word of mouth, telling friends and
Yeah.
tape trades, and it's changed an awful lot.
Mm,
But
yeah.
then Facebook is a false indicator of who's going to be there, because people will say, yeah, we're going, and click interested or going, and you say 100 people are going and 25 turn up,
Yeah.
So
I
it is
know.
what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. It's kind of you need one member of the band to be on the ball with it though, all the time.
Yeah.
Either social media or
It's a
just
constant. It's a constant thing.
it is.
You need to employ someone to do it, and we just
Yeah.
don't have the fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll say now with the EP progressing along
Yeah.
in relation to songs wrote, etc. What are you thinking of doing? Are you going to try and get a release out this year or next year? And
We were aiming for hopefully this year, and we were aiming to try and have a bit of both. A physical thing that you can hold, because we have the
yeah.
artwork for it. We use a Canadian guy,
Okay.
to do has done all our artwork from day one.
Nice.
The reason we use him is because it's different, and he's not in this scene, so we don't trip over anyone else.
Yes.
And
Okay.
because he's from a totally different country, we think it brings a different, like a different kind of element. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the artwork of the EP.
Yes.
And then obviously we did a song called Ambivalence Within, or I can't even remember that. It's on Spotify, and you'll see it. He did that artwork as well.
Okay.
So it's kind of unique. And then we got there was a guy who did death metal logos. He designed the logo.
The logo is class, man.
Yeah. Gragoth was the guy. I think he did some black metal bands, famous black metal bands he did, and we managed to get him.
Okay.
And he did all that sheet. See, that's it there. Look,
that's it, yeah.
Self-promotion.
No, I'm going to be purchasing one myself, kiddo.
Oh, thanks very much.
Yeah.
But no, we really, we really hope to get it out this year. And as I said, all the usual streaming stuff. But I know there's guys like you and me who would like to have it. Like this is, I shouldn't really be showing this, but that's like this. Yeah. It's Iron Maiden, so sorry.
Yeah, I was just on about it actually in the forums there, that it's a fucking nightmare when bands release a double CD, like Mastodon now, for example. Just the fucking drama of taking out the CD, because I've a mobile phone holder in the CD slot. So like, the temptation is always just to leave the fucking CD in there, but like I'm just going, oh man, I have to hear the second CD, and you're fucking pulling and dragging.
Yeah, I know. And all my favorite bands, I always try and buy their CD. Yes, and I try and stop myself listening to it on release day on Spotify, because it's not the same as putting it in your CD player.
No, and the sound quality is fucking way different too, man.
Yeah,
I
think Spotify has ruined the kind of. Do you remember the Sound Cellar in Dublin? Yeah,
I interviewed Tommy. I interviewed him for the show way back when, around 3 years ago.
I used to get my tickets there, and I remember when the Black Album came out. I'm probably showing my side now that I seem to be a closet Metallica fan here.
Go on.
But I bought the Black Album on vinyl when it came out originally and it wasn't like you get it at midnight. Now you get it at midnight when I had to wait for the Friday or the Saturday and go down and buy it.
Yeah, a few of the lads called into Tommy for Iron Maiden, and I just got a text message. Guess what?
The band turned up, was it?
No, Jesus, no. The lads, my mates, were going up to Iron Maiden, so they went into the Sound Cellar, and they said, "Guess where we are?" And I says, "I haven't a clue, like a bar, hopefully." And they went, "No, we're in the Sound Cellar." And I goes, "Good luck leaving there empty-handed." And of course,
he's got some amount of stuff.
Yeah, so they all fucking had to buy stuff off him then and go back to the hotel with the albums.
Know what I liked about him in the olden days when I was going to school, and say like a ticket was 15 quid, 15 pound, remember, punts. And he'd take a $5 deposit, and you could when you had it, you'd come back and buy it. I mean, that doesn't happen now. You're at the mercy of Ticketmaster.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
You know?
Tommy was fantastic in so many ways in relation to just ringing him up, because again, we'd have no access to Tommy only through the phone. So you're ringing the sound seller and putting your orders through the sound seller, and you then like have to wait fucking 2 or 3 weeks for it to come, you know. But an absolute legend.
Yeah, because I just remember, you know, Obituary were playing in Dublin in McGonagall's. I don't know if you remember that name.
Of course I do, yeah.
And Death. And what happened was, you know, Chuck he couldn't get across from Scotland or something.
Okay.
And his guitar tech stood in.
Wow.
But he looked very like him, but no one knew.
Jesus.
Everyone was so drunk they thought they were watching the full band. But Obituary were really good. Now I have to say they were class.
It's funny you brought them up, because the last time I was in the sound cellar, I bought Obituary's album on CD. I didn't want to fucking buy it on CD. I wanted to get it on vinyl, but Tommy didn't have it on vinyl, so I couldn't leave empty-handed. So I said, "Look, just give me the fucking CD for fuck's sake!" Like,
I know I used to walk into the sound cell and go, "This is going to be hard in my pocket," because he'd have all the stuff, and he doesn't let you leave. Are you sure you don't see what you want there? Yeah. All right, give me that one then.
Wouldn't it be nice now if he had some Indominus CDs?
I might get him up.
No, he's very genuine that way, because if you're a metal band, you call into him and leave stuff, he'll definitely move it for you. Like, you know, I think
he's cool guy. Like,
yeah,
I remember 50 Million used to sell their stuff in there, t-shirts and all.
That's right, your Jesus, they all did, I think. But like, again, he's like everybody else now. He's fearful over what's happening with Spotify and digital music. He's wondering, can the shop sustain itself, you know? It's only through vinyl sales, because it's after just becoming, as you said, is so popular that I think that's sustaining them to some degree.
I think the thing is that people like you and I will always want physical stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I like getting t-shirts. I buy band t-shirts. I think that's the only way you can support a band, because they're not getting anything from Spotify. You know, unless you had 10 million plays, what are you getting? £1,000?
It's a joke, you know, But I mean, what other merch have you, Mark? I think, you have a fair bit at the moment, don't you? You have key rings and hats and stuff. Or?
Beanies kind of, people bought beanies. We're thinking it's quite warm to be selling beanies, but we're thinking forward into the winter.
Yeah.
And metalheads wear beanies all the time. Yeah. And then we had different coloured shirts, which went down quite well, because we had pink for ladies and some men if they want pink. You know, we're not going to discriminate.
Yeah.
And the green for... we just thought the green looked well, and then we thought maybe we'd sell more of them on Paddy's Day.
Jesus.
And then the red, and then I just think it's good to have logo shirts, because then when people come, you can see.
Yes, I think you're right as well. There's a nice thing to it, isn't there? There was one there, Archives. Now they're a band from Belfast. They have a beautiful logo shirt, man. Just
it's red, isn't it? There's a red.
The one I have now is white. It's just a white logo with a black t-shirt, but it's just the way it's wrote across the chest is fucking fantastic. Bit like funny yours now.
Yeah, funny you should mention them. I stood in for a band that was supporting them last August, just after we got back from Holland. Okay. And they were really good. We played with them in Archives.
No, but who'd you stand in?
Oh, a band called Barriers. It was our old singer set up another band, and he just asked. Their bass player his wife had a baby that week, so he couldn't do it. So I was like, "Oh, hold on, you want me to learn all these songs?" And I'm only back from Holland maybe a few days beforehand, but it worked out. But I saw Archives then; I'd never seen them before.
Yeah. Powerful band live, man.
Yeah, they're doing well, aren't they?
They do, yeah. They're doing very well. It's just that the scene up there is exploded over the last 2 or 3 years, man. It's crazy what's coming out of there, and it's fantastic. And just in relation to your merch again, and just bringing you back to the merch, who do you get to do the t-shirts, Mark?
It's a local place near where I live. I think they're called the Gordon Group, and they're they do all sports stuff, but they do Gildan, which I always think is a good make.
Yes.
Soft spun. Because I got an Iron Maiden one, and that was Gildan, but it didn't feel as soft, and they're quite good, and they do embroidered beanies. I always think the embroidery. I might get the logo bigger on them. I always think the embroidery is good, because it lasts.
Yeah.
And then the print on the t-shirts is quite good, because I've had mine a while and it's been washed a few times.
Yeah, I was just going to say, has it survived the washes? So.
It's my bedwear as well,
And what's the name of the merch group and where they're based?
The Garden Group in Lurgan.
Because there's always people watching this show that are always, texting each other going, Jesus, who does good merch? And it's important to kind of give a shout out.
Cursed Son were asking me where we get our merch done.
There you go. Like, yes, it is. It's cool. Like, now just going back to where you are at the moment. So you are presently demoing songs. Would that be correct?
Yeah, more or less ready. Just practicing with the drummer because we have to get him used to the click tracks and stuff.
Okay.
So we'd rather be prepared going in than having to go in and use the studio time to iron out any difficulties, But I think the fact that we wanted the road testing with a few gigs is good,
Yes.
Get into your head and they become second nature,
Yeah. And are you going to, like, Josh has done really well since he did your EP? I mean, his fingerprints are over a lot of fucking bands that I have on the show in the last year and 2 years even.
I think he's the go-to fella for that kind of stuff. And he did help when we did that EP with the other guy, Johnny. The two of them did it. So
yeah,
they got the mix. I think it sounded good. And it got good reviews. Anywhere we sent it, it always came back with, this is really good. And and we said, oh, well, they made us sound good.
Yeah. So that's good, man, that that there's a few options for you in relation to recording up there.
Yeah. We'll have to get to Cork again sometime if someone can invent like Star Trek where you can stand on the thing and it just brings you there.
Scotty, isn't it? Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah. Teleport.
Yeah. Like, I mean, again, the Siege of Limerick is another obvious one there. It's on twice a year, man. The chances, like, if you get an EP out this year, there's a really good chance that you'll be making an appearance on it at some stage,
I think that when we saw our name on the poster, I was really happy because I was always wanted to try and play that.
Yeah.
And then when I saw it on the glossy posters you get done, I thought, I still have that.
Yeah. And
like,
did you stay down that night? What were your memories of Siege?
Good. We drove back. We were crazy.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
I think we killed a fox on the way back. Sorry, all animal lovers. Ran out in front of the car. I thought I'd hit something else, and then that was my memory of it, just the killing the fox. No, the Siege of Limerick was very good. It was just such a long drive. I just remember just being very tired after, but good. Like the fact that you do it and that you mingle with the other bands and such a good day. There's so many different.
Can you remember where you played? What stage were you? Were you upstairs, downstairs?
I think we were downstairs. We weren't on the main stage
because
we were newer to them, we did it. We did it for the reason of we've done it and we are stamped on the posters and stuff. And but having said that, going outside of Ireland too is helpful. Holland. And we did play in Switzerland, and we're hopefully going to go back to Holland again.
And what way do you approach those gigs, Mark? Is it just a case of bring your own gear and breakables?
Well, just with the flights, we didn't bring heads for Stonehenge. Heads were provided because that would just be crazy on paying for excess luggage. Bring the guitars and just the breakables. That's about it. And then we got carted about Holland. We had a driver who brought us to the venue and back and stuff. So and the hotel. So it was really good, and we had free beer all that day, the whole day.
Wow. Where is that held, Manu?
Steenvik in, I think it's southern, I might be wrong, or northern Holland, because it's just a big country and it's so flat that it just all looks, when you're driving, it's like, it's so clean and flat.
Yeah, because I'm only back from Rotterdam, man. That's where I was. It's so handy just flying into Schiphol and just a 25-minute drive, you're in Rotterdam, or you know.
We played a gig before in Wiedendal, which is in the middle, I think. And the night before we played, we went to see Blaze Bailey in
Wow.
in a local bar with Absolva. You know Absolva?
No, I haven't heard of them.
They're the
Absolva. No.
backup band for Blaze Bailey, but they're
Okay.
a band. You should check them out. They're very good. They're an English band. I think they're thrash metal, but they back him up, and I have to say he was pretty good. Now he was very big,
Yeah.
but I think he's had a heart surgery there, and he's dropped a lot of weight.
Hang on a while. Is it ASVOLMEL? Is that the band?
Absolva.
Oh, fuck it. I thought there's another band there. They're
They're like they look like
Motorhead. Yeah. It's not them, no?
Not them. No, check the other band. I'll drop you the link.
Yeah.
Well, Blaze Bailey was a nice fella. We met him, and then I remember seeing him supporting Iron Maiden with Wolfsbane.
That's
in
right.
Dublin in 1990, and Wolfsbane were brilliant. I thought they were really good. Like,
yeah, but sure, didn't he? Was Blaze Bailey then went to Maiden? Didn't he as frontman for?
He did. Yeah, he did two. I think he did two albums, wasn't it, with them?
Yeah. It wasn't well received, as far as I know. I lost interest in Maiden as soon as Seventh Son of a Seventh Son came out. I just fucking dropped them.
It's a great album.
No, I fucking hate it.
Somewhere in Time. No,
Somewhere in Time was the last one for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, there was just too many fucking synths on Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. I was just going, fuck off, lads.
You don't like synth.
And wasn't it Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter? Was that on that album, is it?
I was on the No Prayer for the Dying.
Oh yeah, that was fucking muck as well. Then that they were definitely done for me when No Prayer for the Dying came out.
I shouldn't have mentioned them today. Sure, I shouldn't.
Nah,
I'm bringing up bad memories.
no, you're grand, man. It's just some bands trigger me, and one of them is Ghost. I just fucking.
I love Anthrax. I love them.
Anthrax. Absolutely one of my favorite bands. Yeah.
And funny story, I got to know the drummer years and years ago, and he got me passes to see Metallica, to actually meet them.
Charlie Benante?
So, yeah, he's a really nice guy. He actually, my youngest son, he's 16 now. When he was born, he bought him little shoes with his name on them.
My God.
I got that friendly with him, and he got me sticks and passes, and he used to get me VIP entry into Anthrax concerts. Not so much now because I've kind of drifted a wee bit, but he was a really nice guy. And the rest of the band, Joey Belladonna and that, he was a
legend.
He was a really down-to-earth fella. And I met them at the time when, remember, Dan Spitz was back? Remember the little guitarist?
Of course I do, yeah.
He was, they were nice guys. They were doing that Among the Living reunion.
That's it, yes. And wasn't there what's the second singer? Didn't he?
John Bush.
John Bush? I think they played gigs together at one stage.
They did a couple of songs, but that tour I did when they came here, Charlie got me in, and I was behind the kit with my son, and it was just amazing. Wow. You can't really hear much behind the kit because it's just like an echo.
Yeah.
But then someone threw a bottle at him from this crowd, and he just ducked, a plastic water bottle. But he says there sometimes when they've got water in them, when they chuck them, they actually hurt, because they're kind of hard when they hit.
Jesus Christ!
Oh,
how the fuck would you be throwing a bottle at Anthrax like?
I know. I remember going to Anthrax gigs before where punks came, and this is I'm talking.
That was the SFX man, wasn't it?
Spitting with the when you spit. Oh, and they walked off, and they did it. I think they did it to Iron Maiden as well, and they said they would go off if it happened again.
Yeah,
that's disgusting. Now I don't know why that
horrific.
was a thing. That was a thing years ago, but not so much now.
Yeah, but sure, Joe Strummer got HIV because of it, like.
Oh, did he? And then I suppose with COVID too. Now when that happened, if people were doing that, like.
Yeah, that's cool, man. You fucking had a kind of a friendly relationship with Charlie Benante, who's a legend. Like, I mean, he's drumming now for Pantera.
Yeah.
And
I'll send you on Instagram privately the drumsticks and stuff he signed and the stuff he gave me, and obviously pictures with him and stuff.
Yeah, class, man. It's good to hear stories like that, isn't it?
I took him for I remember my wife picked me up. He was playing in the Ulster Hall, and he offered me they were going to Glasgow. They were staying in the Hilton. He says, if you want to stay there, we have to leave early, and the room's just got paid for. A really
Jesus.
down to earth guy. We brought him for a coffee as well in Belfast, and then he put 50 quid in the glove compartment because my wife drove him around to the Ulster Hall.
Yeah.
I was somewhere. I was going into the Ulster Hall, but she had picked him up from the hotel, and he left money in the thing. That's for us to get a meal. For
Fuck's sake, that's class, man.
So that he's not an ego head.
Yeah.
Not like
Dude.
Now.
Oh, yeah, I know. But it's good to hear stories like that, man.
Yeah.
Your man is the same out of Sacred Reich. He's good mates with one of my friends, Phil. Yeah. Same crack again, just down to earth. You know what I mean? They like to go for a few.
Yeah, they're dead on as well. They seem to be down to earth as well. They don't seem to be. They don't seem to be.
We're drifting here away. The only thing is now, Mark, and it's great talking to you about other stuff as well, but describe where your music is now with the new stuff, just for people, fans of the band and stuff.
I think it's drifted a wee bit away from pure death metal. It's not pure. There's a little bit of a more, because our guitarist likes hardcore.
Right.
There's a bit more of a hardcore element.
Mm-hmm.
We still have the death and the heavy side. We will never give that up. But there's I think with the the head bobbing riffs, that's the thing that gets people.
Yeah.
Because you're too intricate and you're too many shifts and changes, you lose people, especially live, because they're going, "What the hell are they playing?"
Yeah.
I used to, when we played before and we were very like chopping and changing, I looked out at people and people were like, "You've lost me at that riff."
Yeah.
And
that's fair enough.
When you hear a riff and you like it and the band takes it away again, and you're like, "Oh no, where's that gone?"
There's so many bands that I could fucking name check and I won't, that do that. It's just so frustrating, man. For fuck's sake, stay on the riff for another bit, but not, they're gone. Yeah.
That's what we try to do, is that if something works and you're your best critic, and if you say, "Oh, that would really make me do this," and if it's going to make me do it and the guitarist do it and the drummer, it's bound to make maybe 3 or 4 other people do it. So don't fix something that isn't broken, kind of mentality,
Yeah. Have you any gigs coming up? Is just the Dublin one at the moment, Mark?
There's the one on the 28th, and then we're doing a charity gig for the Sands Stillbirth and charity in Belfast at the 27th of August in the Voodoo Lounge.
Okay. Excellent.
It's Mark Ashby. He works for, I think he was Rock. He's one of the, I think it's Rock and Load. It's one of those fanzines online.
Yeah, I heard of Rock and Load.
He's organising it. I think it's that now. And it's us, Cursed Sun, and I think there's another band. I can't remember the other band. Delusional Silent. Okay. Delusional Silent.
Nice.
So 3 of us. I think we're going to open it. Wreck the place for everyone else first.
Nice. Sometimes that's often beneficial to go on first and fucking smash it.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like a poison chalice too. There's no one there.
So for those that are listening and watching, check out Indominus's merch, first of all. Give some money towards the band. That's important.
Yes, I need to go on holiday.
Yes. Get him back to Holland. Meet up with Charlie. But so listen, check out their merch page. They can access that, Mark, through Instagram and Facebook, I presume. There's a link there.
Yeah, send us a message or Bandcamp, and then they'll probably get me, because I have all the merchandise at my house. So
great stuff. Okay, and watch this space in relation to new material coming through. Yeah. We might hopefully have a single off you before the year is out anyway, whatever about the EP. If we can get a single out, it'd be great.
You'll be the first to get it, so we'll make sure you get it.
Okay, great. And, we'll do our best on our side to promote the shit out of it for you, kiddo.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And obviously I see your stuff. I see where you are in the scheme of podcasts. Yeah, it's really good, man. And, it's down to fucking 1 episode a week and just having the dedication to do it that way, and it's just it does take time, doesn't it?
It does. It absolutely does. Yeah. So I want to give a shout out to the members that didn't make it tonight: Logan, Ricky, and Oak. Looking forward to seeing you live at some stage down the road, man. I'll be up at the front where I usually am for most gigs. And as I said, I'll be getting back onto you, Mark, just to buy a t-shirt off you anyway. And
no, appreciate that. And
rip you on the show.
Come up and we'll look after you sometime, so you don't have to drive back 300 miles.
I know, yeah. There's that as well, isn't there? Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
So listen, Mark, thanks a million for coming on the show. You've been listening to Mark, the bass player with Indominus, and best of success, man. And, judging by what you're saying to us, man, it's going to be exciting to get a new release off you. And please go to see Indominus. They're playing 2 gigs in August. And
July and August, sorry.
July and August, my apologies. So all those gigs will be up on your socials anyway, Mark, so they'll be able to find it there.
Yeah. That's great, Richie. Thanks for your time and thanks for your support. We really appreciate it.
Glad to help it, lad. And that's what I always say at the end of the show: support your local metal scene.
Thank you.
Cheers, Mark.